Julie. I'm a millennial mom, wife, teacher, musician, and I'm here to teach millennials how to be free from debt, how to feel in charge of their finances, and how to rebuild their hope in the new American dream. Today, the topic is, what do I do with my stimulus check? First of all, if you're here and you're asking this question, you're already on the right track. A lot of people are just ready to get that new couch. They're ready to upgrade their TV. They're ready to give the kids an iPad so they'll leave them alone. First off, let's start by saying, if you haven't already decided what you're going to do with your stimulus check, don't touch it. We all know that for many of us, seeing money means the impulse to spend money. Even for those of us who consider ourselves to stay on top of our finances. And if you've already received the stimulus check in a bank account, just move it to a savings account until you or you and your spouse can decide how it can most propel your financial future. We want to start by examining your situation. Are you currently behind on any utility bills? Hello, Texas, we just had a freeze. How was it going with Gritty? I don't know. Are you current on mortgage payments? Is a baby on the way? Hello, pandemic baby boom. Have you not made any headway on your student loan by chance during this interest-free period? Is your main source of income maybe unstable right now? Like you don't know if your job is going to be here in 2 months, or is it an irregular income where you have some hills and valleys in your earnings? Are you working on paying down debt so you can focus on bigger goals down the road? Do you have a 6-month emergency fund, but you may need to start saving for a car or down payment for a home? Are you maybe saving for retirement, but have nothing for your kids' college education down the road? If there is a life-changing event happening or soon to happen in your life, like a baby on the way, a big move, a career loss, your check needs to cover the savings for that so you can throw a big W to your future self. If you are living paycheck to paycheck with no savings buffer, what I call a starter emergency fund of at least $1,000 to a sum of 1 month's basic expenses, then that is your number one goal with this check. There's nothing that can replace the peace of mind you get from having a savings for emergencies versus a credit card as an emergency plan that you are on the hook for later. Number 2, if you have non-mortgage debt, so credit cards, student loans, home equity loans, throw a butt ton of your check to cover the smallest debt. Take no prisoners. Number 3, if you are debt-free, you are, first of all, already a bit of a unicorn, so good for you. And if you don't have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved up yet, and it's a pandemic, let's do 6 right now. Put at least a large chunk of this money toward that savings account. Number 4, if you have no non-mortgage debt, a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, and you're feeling pretty good these days, you should be focused on retirement and getting up to at least 15% of your monthly income into an investment account, like your 401k, 403bs, or IRA. If you're not up to that number yet, get some of this check in those accounts. Best with help from a financial advisor. Number 5, if you have no consumer debt or student loans, you've got your 6-month savings buffer, you're regularly saving for retirement, but you have kids for whom you don't have a college savings, get that started. I currently have a 529 for my little one. She's 3, and I'm still working on getting up to the percentage of my income that I want to be saving monthly for her. But I've got it, and what amount I do have in there is growing. Number 6, you have a great amount of savings and sinking funds for big purchases like a car, but you have a mortgage you're paying on. Use some of this to chop off some time to how long it takes you to pay off that home. Put extra directly toward the principal. You'll thank yourself later. So after you have examined your situation thoroughly from a bit of an outside perspective looking in, take the next step of determining what your goals are. Is there a career change in your near future where you may have some upfront costs? Perhaps one day you'd like to start a business. Do you have a plan for all of the upfront fees there might be? Do you have a savings for products that you're planning to sell and manufacture that costs money at the beginning? Are you saving up maybe for a home renovation or a family vacation? Have you not been to Disney yet? And you're like, we are going to Disney. Are you looking ahead to retirement and feeling somewhat unprepared? Maybe this needs to go in an account like that IRA or Roth IRA I mentioned. Um, Maybe you all never set up an account yet. You need to get that set up. So you want to prioritize your goals. The answers after thinking about all of these scenarios that I mentioned might seem immediately pretty clear. However, it's just the taking time to just think about all of these options for your money that allows you to determine where you really are in the spectrum in the journey of your financial independence. So after you determine what your goals are, you really need to prioritize them. Not every one of these goals is going to demand that you use the entirety of your stimulus check, right? For instance, if you're only 3 months away from being having an emergency fund that's fully funded and can cover you in a wide range of emergencies, you could say that the first 600 will go to that emergency fund, and the rest may go to the vacation that you've been wishing for, but assumed was out of your reach in the near future. Something else that you ought to consider that may dampen the fun of giving a stimulus check a little bit is also if you're part of a religious organization, say you're a Christian and you regularly tithe on your net income each month, meaning whatever they take out from taxes, you're not paying a tithe on that amount, you're just paying off of what you get. The stimulus check would not technically be included in that taxed amount. So therefore, you count it as a new income, and you would still want to tithe that 10% off the top before spending the remainder of the stimulus payment. Not a requirement, but consider that if this is along the lines of your belief. So you're going to rank all of these goals in importance and in urgency. Get the calculator app handy. If it's a need, like a starter emergency fund of $1,000 to a month's basic expenses, and it's urgent, rank it first in priority. Then put your near future needs next. Are you trying to buy a car next year? Do you have the amount that will buy you a car of what you really want? How long has it been since you bought a car? I mean, a Honda Civic in 2012 is going to be a different cost than a Honda Civic in 2022. Be real with yourself on those kinds of big purchases and decide how much you're going to need before that point. Put the stimulus check toward that next. So long and medium term goals would come next. And for retirement being a long-term goal, obviously you may decide that you don't want to put the entire check toward your retirement, which is like could be in 30 years, but you would like to set a few hundred aside for that. Great. Lastly, if there's any left after putting money toward urgent and important things listed above, then you'll include a dream on your priority list. I hope that you've come to see what your goals might be and that you've gotten some clarity on how you want to spend this so that you can feel like you're adulting so strong after. Thanks for watching. Please join me for my next video on the cash envelope system and how I keep it real during a pandemic.